After somewhere around 30 to 40 years of playing the acoustic guitar, here's something that I would recommend to people who haven't been playing that long. I mean, there's probably a lot of YouTube channels giving a lot of advice, but here's something that you probably aren't hearing every day. And I mean, maybe you're doing it already, but I certainly didn't. I played the guitar for 30 years before I ever really started to try to work on them myself. And by work on them, I guess the holy grail of working on them is making a truss rod adjustment. Making a truss rod adjustment, like, oh, don't do that. You might mess up the guitar and then, now it's going to be broken and you're going to have to pay somebody to fix it. And I suppose there's always a chance that that's going to happen. But when I started, collecting guitars, I can't afford to take all these guitars to a luthier. That's crazy. So you have to start to learn to work on them yourself. And so I did. And you know what? It's so easy. YouTube is your friend. There's tons of great information out there. And the chances of you permanently breaking your guitar, if you've done a little bit of research before you do whatever you're about to do, it's pretty small. I mean, you can make truss rod adjustments, and it actually makes such a big difference to your ability to just keep your guitar in a, maintained playable condition, because with temperature changes and seasonal swings and humidity changes, the guitar changes in response to these. The woods change, and as they season and as they get older, unless you're bringing in your guitar for regular setups at the local shop, it's probably not optimally playing for you. And learning how to do this work yourself, making truss rod adjustments, and further than that, you can save yourself a lot of money. And you can learn a lot about the instrument that you're playing. There's a lot of value in it that's going to pay you dividends over a lifetime of playing the guitar. So the truss rod adjustment is one thing I talked about, and there's more than just truss rods. There's dealing with saddle issues, changing strings. I hope you're doing that yourself, of course. Cleaning the fretboard, making minor repairs. Like a good example. This is a good example because I'm holding this guitar, right? And you probably maybe don't even know anything about this guitar. K.Yairi. Can you even read that with the glare on it? I don't know, but it's a Yairi, big deal, right? These are actually totally a big deal guitar. I mean, it's no famous Martin signed by some, famous musician, but it is a highly in-demand instrument. These K.Yairi acoustic guitars, made in the 70s in Japan. This one's a 1976. These are hard to come by, and they're super expensive. Basically, thousands of dollars. This is a YW800 that I'm playing here, and it could sell for a few $1,000s on the retail market right now. And I didn't pay anywhere near that. That's not in my budget. You know what I bought? I bought this guitar, which was just basically a bundle of matchsticks. I don't know what happened to this poor thing, but at some point in its life, it just got absolutely crunched and destroyed. And the body was in three pieces, and the soundboard was cracked, and just it wasn't looking good for this poor K.Yairi. And I was able to give the owner just a very small amount of money. And now this bundle of K.Yairi matchsticks was mine, and I went to work, putting things back together and gluing and making repairs. And I'm no carpenter. This isn't something that I've learned by trade. I am a technical person. I've got a long list of technical things that I do and I have accomplished, but ornate woodworking and repairs to the musical instruments, definitely not in my wheelhouse. Yet I was able to take this thing and put it back together. This whole side was destroyed to the extent it looked like a car drove over it, basically. And, that's pretty darn good. I certainly am happy with the results. And that's something that I would have never taken on in my early days as a guitar player. It wasn't until I got well into my collecting phase here where I wanted some of these, more premier instruments, but I just wasn't willing or able to pay the price tags associated with these. If I was, I suppose I'd just have a wall full of Martins now, wouldn't I? But I don't. Beautiful guitar. And the reason I own it is because I was willing to take a risk, buy, the broken guitar, learn about, I didn't even know how to fix it or if it could be fixed. I just took a gamble on it and learned along the way. And now I'm the proud owner of this K.Yairi YW800 guitar. And I'll own this for the rest of my life. And that's something that I would like you to think about doing. maybe you can't start with a K.Yairi. Start with something a little more affordable. Get to a local garage sale and buy something for 40 or 50 bucks that looks like maybe you could do a little work to it. Maybe it looks like it's a playable guitar. The action doesn't appear to be terrible up near the neck, up near the 12th fret. That would be a really important thing to look at. Look for really dirty, old, unloved guitars. There's so many of them out there that people bought them. They thought about playing, they never did. I can't tell you how many guitars I've bought from people where they just stuck them in a closet for 30 years because they don't play, or maybe it was their parents' guitar and it was willed down to them and they don't even play themselves, but they just hung on to the thing until they just finally decided to let it go one day. And a lot of these guitars, you know, if they don't have the Gibson or the Martin name on it, they don't have a terribly high resale value, you know. But you can get some really high quality instruments if you're willing to put in a little elbow grease, learn a little bit about how to clean up a fretboard, how to restring a guitar. Maybe you've got to change the nut or reset it. Maybe you have to sand the saddle down a little bit or put some new pegs in here. There's a bunch of really minor stuff that you would pay a few $100s for somebody else to do for you, but you could probably do a pretty good job of yourself. And if you own the guitar and you only paid 40 bucks for it, who cares if you don't do a best job in the world? I bet you'll learn a lot from the first one, and the second one you do will be a lot better and a lot easier. So that's my advice. If you're relatively new into playing the acoustic guitar, don't be afraid to get one up on the workshop table. I bought a kit online from Amazon for like 20 bucks, which is like a guitar repair kit kind of thing. And it's actually really passable. Like you can do a ton of basic repair and maintenance to an acoustic guitar with like a $20 kit from Amazon. And I highly recommend that you do that. You're going to learn a lot more and it's going to pay dividends over your entire playing career. Thank you for watching to the end of this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.